Hello, this is Joseph Zottel. Why will Trump's tariffs bring manufacturing back to the United States? Now, first, this is not to say that there'll be no new manufacturing in the United States in the years to come. Some production may move back to the United States. New production for new products may start in the United States. But as far as the tariffs bringing manufacturing back, especially in the short term, it's not going to work that way. Most of today's presentation is slides, which will be numbers that I've made up, but it's to show the concept. Lots of different products are out there, lots of different numbers involved. And we do have some books for sale, as you see behind me. The source for the books is down below in the description, as well as some free materials available for you. But let us begin. We have a product where the cost of importing it is $1. I'm figuring the cost of the product plus whatever duties are on it. Some things are duty-free, some things are 10% duty under what we call Column 1 of the Harmonized Tariff Schedule of the United States. I'm leaving out freight, insurance, and other factors for simplicity. And I've made up the number in the first place. The cost to manufacture in the United States for this imaginary product is $1.50. Therefore, it makes more sense to bring in the imported product. We can sell it for $2. On the imported version, we can make $1 profit, but if we made it domestically, we'll only make 50 cents profit, still holding our price, our selling price of $2 to our consumer. Of course, we could increase our price, but then we could decrease the number of people who can afford our product or who want it at that price. So we might lose sales. So we can't simply just raise our prices indefinitely. But this is the situation that our company is starting off with. If there's an extra duty of 100%, nice round figure, the cost of the import is now $2. The cost of the product, plus whatever the original duty might have been that we've already looked at, plus an additional 100%. So $2. Now we can't sell it for $2 because we'll only break even, and we're not out to break even, we're out to make a profit for our stockholders. So we can increase our selling price to $3, figuring all of our competitors will have to do the same thing. We may lose some sales. Some people may decide to do without our particular product. There is a concept that economists have called elasticity of demand. In its basic form, it's if you raise the price, you will lose more customers if your product is something of a luxury than if it's a necessity. If it's a necessity, people pretty much have to keep buying it unless you completely make yourself unaffordable. If it's a luxury, people can cut back on it. So we can say food is a necessity, but filet mignon is not. You can also buy hamburgers, and you can also buy hot dogs, and you can also buy tuna fish. So if the price of filet mignon goes up dramatically, more people will go to one of the substitutes. So the elasticity of demand on filet mignon is really very high. The elasticity of demand for something like gasoline for your car is not very high because it's a necessity. Although we can expect that the higher the price of gas, the more you'll shop around for a better price, and the more you might cut back on some of your leisure driving in order to save some money. But you still need the gasoline. So very low elasticity of demand there. If you're really interested in this topic, visit your public library, check out any book on economics, and we'll have a chapter or at least some discussion on elasticity of demand and go into more detail. At the cost of import being $2, we can sell it then for $3 and hope we don't lose too many sales, and we'll make $1 profit. But since it now costs $2 to buy it from a foreign producer and only $1.50 to produce it in the United States, we'll make more profit if we start producing it in the United States. So it makes sense for us to do that. Produce it here for $1.50 instead of importing it for $2. That's the argument that a lot of backers of these high tariffs make, but they are leaving something important out. So we say $1.50 to produce it, but we still have some fixed costs in getting set up to produce it. So if we move to US production, we have very low elasticity of demand, so our demand does not rise or fall. We sold 2 million units per year. We'll continue to sell 2 million units per year for simplicity. The time frame to bring in $10 million extra profit to pay for the factory and break even is 11 years. 1 year to build a factory. Perhaps we don't build a factory. Perhaps we are able to move very quickly because we can find a vacant factory building, refurbish it, refit it, and upgrade it to our needs today, bring in the machinery, and be ready to hire. But either way, be ready in a year to begin production. Now, if we build our factory in the United States to manufacture the product here, and we sell 2 million units per year, how long does it take before we pay off the cost of the factory? Let's say it costs us $10 million altogether before we're ready to produce our first unit of product. $10 million expenditure in 1 year. Now the time frame to bring in the $10 million extra dollars or break even will be 11 years if we sold 2 million units per year. 50 cents extra profit per unit. Here it is. 2 million units per year at 50 cents per unit. We will make an extra $1 million per year profit because we are now manufacturing in the United States for less than it costs to bring the product in from abroad with tariffs. The time frame to bring in the $10 million extra profit to pay for the factory and finally break even is 11 years. Well, I have 1 year to build a factory and be ready to start, plus 10 years of production at $1 million a year new profit is 11 years before we make our first net profit, having now paid off the building. That is only if the tariffs stay for more than 11 years. If the tariffs go away 11 years from now, then we simply broke even and we have a vacant factory, and we will become profitable in our 12th year once we have paid off the cost of the building. If the tariffs stay. If the tariffs stay, then that extra $1 million per year goes into our company treasury as pure profit, and the year after that, and the year after that, as long as the tariffs stay in effect. If the tariffs go away before the end of the 11th year, at best we'll break even. We'll have produced the product for 10 years in a factory that cost us 1 year to build, so we'll only make our first profit after 11 years. If it is any time before the 11th year ends, we're losing money. The real point of this is if we're the board of directors of the company, and I've been saying we all along, we're going to look at this very seriously and say we are here to make a profit for our stockholders and for ourselves because we probably own some stock, have some stock options, and so on. So we would like the company to be profitable. Before we build the factory here, we want some assurance that 12 years from now, those tariffs will still be there. And I see that as very unlikely because this tax increase, which is on the American importer, is going to cause major economic disruption in the United States as well as other countries the longer they stay. So eventually there'll be pressure, no matter what the administration's agenda is, to get rid of those excess tariffs and bring them back down. The average tariff of the United States on products from the European Union has been for many years about 2%. The average tariff on U.S. products going into the European Union has also been 2%. So I don't see where the mistreatment is of the United States that all this is supposedly about. Here are additional videos on this channel that explain more about tariffs. If you liked today's video and found it informative, please give us a like. Please subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the other videos we'll have coming up. Thank you for joining me today.